drama. Verdict: 6 Caribbean countries send their best chefs to plead their case in the region's ultimate cooking showdown, Maggi Food Court Caribbean. Which Caribbean country has the best chef? Who will walk away with the $10,000 award? All rise for the Maggi Food Court Caribbean Season 5. Last time on Maggi Food Court Caribbean, 4 remaining chefs were challenged to create the same technical dish, tuna tartare. Unfortunately, it was Chef Shannon who was the weakest of the 4 and was sent home. In this episode, the semi-final battle between the 3 remaining chefs to decide who will face off in the finals begins now. Our jury members are Roger Mooking, Trinidadian Canadian celebrity chef and TV host, known for his appearances on the Food Network, the Cooking Channel, and the Discovery Network. Chef Dwight Smith, a Toronto-based Red Seal chef with over 20 years of professional kitchen experience creating globally inspired dishes. Chef Devon Rajkumar, dynamic Guyanese Canadian chef with no boundaries when it comes to culinary exploration. This culinary case is presided over by Maggi Food Court Judge, Jaron Geronimo Green.
Chefs,
Chef,
welcome back to court. Bailiff, haha, the courtroom looking scanty though, man.
so today's the semi-finals, and honestly, the pressure is on. The competition is really hot right now.
But guess what? I'll call you the 3 little birds upon my court step, cooking meals pure and flavorful.
Last episode made it feel pressure. I just calm. I just want to go out there, shine, make God will happen, and just do the do.
At the end of this here challenge, only 2 birds will remain.
One is right here. I'm not going to feel comfortable or rock back until I hear my name called for the finals.
Today I have invited 3 of my closest friends for a dinner party. And you all will be catering for these friends of mine. Their palates are very refined, so the challenge is very tough today. Chefs, for the judges' dinner party, I am going to request that you make 4 courses. The first course for my guests must be made by all of you. Then I want 1 course per chef remaining. Is that clear?
Yes, Chef.
You're collaborating on the first course, and then I want a course from each of you. You have an hour and a half. You have full access to fridge and pantry and any ingredient you like. Of course, we're in the semi-final rounds. You do not believe that the challenge would be that easy. Oh, no. So here what, my guests are already here. We are having a little champagne, etc. And I want 3 amuse-bouche.
Amuse-bouche messed with my confidence last season. I didn't know what the word meant. So I kind of just laughed because, it has come back full circle.
1 from Chef Rondell, 1 from Chef Akeel, and 1 from Chef Candace. Don't worry, we won't judge you on those, but they better be tasteful. Chefs, your time for cooking, because my party starts already. Your time for cooking starts just about now.
All right, here that's right. So I'll take main course.
So you're leaving me with dessert?
No, you don't have to do dessert.
You don't have to do a dessert.
A course in the center.
What would be a
You
course
do a
in the
seafood
center?
course. You could do a hot app.
Fine.
You do a
I'll do.
cold app.
Okay, alright, fine.
Right, so everybody do their own amuse-bouche. If you didn't see when you picking up the amuse-bouche.
What?
Everybody do their
Yeah, he
separate
didn't tell us the
amuse-bouche.
time.
Whatever,
Separate
get that out of the way.
amuse-bouche, one thing
Okay,
together,
so the
and
one
then
cohesive thing that we do together, the
I
collab.
think it should be a soup. Quick, easy, simple.
Alright, fine.
Okay, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah? What kind of soup you want to do? Puree?
Yes, we have.
I'm going to make something quick, clean, simple out.
I see that this Here is about teamwork, which is really nice. So we can put on that.
So we do a pumpkin soup, we do like some kind of vegetables in the center, and coconut cream, like I said, don't get out of the way.
The amuse-bouche was a salmon and cream cheese bite. So I seared the salmon, seasoned the salmon with some Maggi all-purpose seasoning, Maggi fish seasoning, and then I added some cream cheese to that and some panko as a binding agent. I then toasted some panko, which I added Maggi all-purpose seasoning, toasted it off in the oven, and then coated the salmon bite in that. I also had a spicy, tangy, sweet sauce. It was kind of like a sticky consistency.
I made a smoked herring dip on top of a fried green plantain for my amuse-bouche.
All right, chefs, I see you cooking now, man. Taking this thing serious.
Real serious, chef.
Real serious.
Game time been over.
Well, listen, my guests are quite hungry. So I want that amuse-bouche ready in 11 minutes and 22 seconds.
Chef.
When the clock says
Chef,
1 hour and 10. Oh gosh, I like it, I like it. You think I should go back to the party, sir?
Thank you.
All righty. 1 hour and 10 minutes, you just make sure that amuse-bouche come to my guests.
Yes,
You hear
chef.
me?
Yes,
They're
chef.
hungry and waiting.
Yes, chef.
All right, and make sure the first course, by the way, is ready when the clock says
Yes, chef.
50 minutes.
Yes, chef.
Second course when the clock says 30 minutes.
Chef, why are you talking to me
all
alone
right,
after
all
them?
right.
Rondell,
All
this
right,
one you
I
do.
go on, I
You
go
know
on.
what, you cut it up, I cut it up later, I'll cut it up for you, right? Do you amuse, don't worry. Sick of these contestants. Jesus, mommy, I love you. So for my amuse-bouche, I think of something quick because he wanted it in 10 minutes. So I did a mussels and shrimp chow. I put a little bit of pineapple there, had some lime juice, some fresh herbs, and I sipped it in the mussel shell. Quick shot down your throat, just to kill all the alcohol and all the fat.
Sorry. You want us give it?
No, I can stay.
Okay.
All right, my chefs, all right? You ready for me with that amuse-bouche or what? Nice, nice, nice. Woo! They even doubled up on the numbers. Ah, that's looking nice, that's looking nice. All right, thank you. Thank you, chefs.
It's time to present the dishes to the jury.
Gentlemen, a gift from the chefs.
Oh.
Brought to you. Not.
What do we have, Jerron? Do you know?
So this is a salmon cream cheese bite, sir. Mussel shells stuffed with shrimp and mussels, sir. And a herring cream cheese bite on fried plantain. You like that thing there?
Except for the really chewy bit, yeah.
I like what I'm seeing from these chefs. The amuse-bouche, as you know, is meant to excite you about what is to come. I am moderately excited and moderately disappointed at the same time. So I feel optimistic yet concerned. And also I agree with Devin says, you know, this was a little bit salty. He had an issue with if your amuse-bouche, it should be perfect, you know? And this sauce was a little bit thick, so I liked what I saw. I liked the ideas, I liked the thought. For the most part, I like the flavors. But they just, you know, there's a little bit of things.
Then we moved on to our pumpkin soup that we did collectively as a team.
So I'll prep the stuff for the soup.
All right.
You make the soup, you make the garnishes for the soup. Right, so you do small dice of carrots, pumpkin, celery, the saute, have some coconut cream,
Right.
have toasted pumpkin seeds done. I'll prep all the stuff for the soup, give you that, you make the soup. Somebody give me a wipe when they get a chance, please.
All right, chefs. Is the first course ready? Oh, yes. Looking nice. Looking good, chefs. I'm sure that my guests will be pleased with it. Or for your sake, I hope so.
It's time to present the dishes to the jury.
All right, gentlemen, so this is the first course. This is a cream of pumpkin with a little coconut crema, toasted almonds, and roasted corn kernels. They have assured me it will be the best thing you've eaten all season. I can't wait to hear what you think.
We've had a couple of purees this season. I must say, this consistency is spot on.
I always love to agree with Chef Dwight, but I find it very grainy. I want silk. I don't like feeling the grain on my tongue. I think at this stage of the competition, steps like that are really important. That's just how I feel.
I think much like the amuse-bouche, it's okay. But at this level of competition, I expect really, like Chef Devin says, a kind of a flawlessness. Taste the soup, it's lacking some seasoning.
Seasoning.
It's a little bit thick for me.
It's just obvious that it was a collaboration dish instead of the one that hopefully we get on the next round, which is everything that they've got.
Well, that is sad to hear. Somebody will have to pay the price. Somebody will have to pay the price.
So for my dish today, I had a shrimp wonton. It was very unconventional, very not the regular wonton. So I made the filling, which I used the shrimp, garlic, ginger, chive, sesame oil. I used Maggi fish seasoning and also salt and pepper. I then added some flour to bind it. I rolled it in a bowl and then I coated it in the wonton wrapper, then fried it. The other aspect of the dish was a hoisin sauce. I just added some ginger, some garlic, some sesame oil to that. The second to last component was the salsa. So I made a pineapple and tomato salsa, and then I made a roasted bell pepper oil.
All right, chefs. Woo. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Chef Akeel, it's time for us to go over to my guest, sir. Let's go.
It's time to present the dishes to the jury.
Chef Akeel,
Chef,
welcome to the dinner table.
my pleasure.
Please tell me what you prepared for my distinguished guests for this dinner party.
Today I prepared for you a kind of unconventional wonton. So inside of it is the filling, and the wonton shell, the exterior is on the outside. So it's not a traditional take on a wonton, but it's a wonton. We also have a hoisin sauce and a pineapple salsa with a roasted bell pepper oil.
Can you tell me what was the inspiration of doing the wonton like this?
Because I think you can take traditional classic things and make it different. So I feel like that was a unique way of doing it.
And then how did you make the filling inside?
The filling inside, I used Asian flavors. I used some sesame, chive, garlic, ginger, and the shrimp.
This looks chow inspired.
Yeah, I'm Trini, so I just gave a bit of, chow experience without it actually tasting like a chow. So I used cilantro instead, and I gave you a little tomato as well.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, chef. See you later.
Sound real crunchy, boy.
There's pros and cons to this style of a wonton, slicing the strips. The pro is it's visually appealing and it can be really stunning. The con is if all the strips are not the same size, then it demonstrates inconsistent knife skills. And that's immediately the first thing that I saw. And as I look down the table, I see yours is quite dark and mine is quite pale. But I would like to see everything the same size. This is before I even take a bite.
I like the flavor. The sauces that he has around here are very delicious. I'm enjoying the filling. A little bit weak on the presentation, Chef. I will be the first to say that, but I really like the flavors that he was going for.
I like the balance of the flavor of the filling. Like Chef Dev says, not only about the knife skills with the different sizes, but they cook at a different rate.
Right.
I have some that are thin like this, some that are thick like this. So when I get some of the thinner pieces, for mine, they're perfectly crunchy. The wider ones are still raw.
Thank you, chefs, for your very in-depth critique. We will definitely have to take it into consideration in firing one of those guys. Let's see what Chef Candace has to offer.
From there, I took the second course, which would have been a coffee and star anise rub steak. It was served rare with a green puree, which had different veggies and green veggies in it.
All right, chefs. So my guests are torn between the quality of the presentations. I'm coming back in 15 minutes.
Want to help me pick my plate?
You want me to help you to pick your
Yes,
plate?
please. I charred some tomatoes, mixed it with a little yogurt, topped it with some toasted almonds, and made a red wine and rosemary herb sauce.
Oh, nice, nice. Both chefs are ready. Chef Candace, are you ready for presentation to my guests? All right, beautiful. Let us proceed. Chef Candace, please tell us what you've made for this dinner party.
I made a coffee and star anise rub steak. It's cooked rare on purpose. Spinach and kale puree, charred tomato and yogurt with some toasted almonds, and around the plate is a red wine and rosemary sauce.
Chef Candace, there was a few times where I saw you had a pot. It looked like maybe it was this sauce. And you went over to Rondell's station a few times to ask him for a taste. Tell me what's going on.
So what happened was, I wasn't very confident about the first sauce that I made, and I wanted to make sure that I got it right and the flavors were balanced. So I asked him to try it, and he did, and he told me that it was salty. And I tried to fix it, but it wasn't fixing, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna send a salty sauce, so I chucked that and started over. So it's the result that is right here now.
No, I love that. As chefs, camaraderie and helping each other out, that's what we do.
Right. All right, thank you, enjoy.
This bite with the green and the steak and the red sauce, that's a nice bite.
I find the meat to be really tender, but I find everything wildly underseasoned.
Really?
It tastes like
There's no salt on this plate.
I don't see it. I don't taste. Very disappointed.
Compared to what we had on our last dish from Chef Akeel, gotta give her points on the presentation. It's a much nicer, more composed dish. But every component I find does need a little bit of salt.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for your comment. So now let's see what Chef Rondell is bringing to the dinner table.
So for my course today, I did a reverse sear beef tenderloin using Caribbean flavors. So I did a Caribbean spice rub using the Maggi unique beef seasoning. I added some cinnamon, cumin, a little bit of nutmeg, right? Season it up, wrap it up in foil, put it in the oven for like 10 minutes. Take it back out, let it cool down, kind of get it to like mid-rare. Then you give it a sear and carry it over to medium. For my scallion potato puree, I started with sweating on some scallions, like 80% of scallions, some parsley and spinach. Blend it up with some coconut milk. And for my stew, I keep it very simple. White cabbage, red cabbage, chiffonade, some acid, shada beni, pimento, a little bit of hot pepper, some Maggi seasoning, and I just added some carrots and tomatoes just to add some more freshness to the plate.
Chef Rondell,
Chef Jerome,
what have you made for my distinguished guests?
today I have a Caribbean spice rub, reverse seared beef tenderloin with a red wine and berry sauce, a scallion and potato puree, and a quick pickled vegetable.
Chef Rondell,
Thank you.
what doneness are you hoping to have achieved if I cut into the middle of this?
Well, doneness seems to be a questionable thing on Maggi food court, to be honest, but hoping to receive a medium close to just kissing medium well, or more the medium size.
Okay.
And this is a tenderloin?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Taste is delicious. Texture is horrific.
Medium rare. Medium well is there's just not enough fat to make this not a dry piece of meat right now.
He's had a way of balancing flavors. I've found his seasoning to be quite consistent throughout the competition.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for being my guests today. At the end, there's somebody I need to fire. Yes, and the decision, unfortunately, is up to you, gentlemen. Oh, thank you! So, I'll see you later. I will give your compliments to the chef.
Thank you.
The other part I'll save for later. All right, gentlemen, what did you find positive on the plate?
The most memorable bite that I had was the tenderloin. Although it was a little bit overcooked, it had a really nice, unique flavor, something I didn't expect. So like thinking back to everything that I ate, if they were all in front of me right now, I think I'd go for that piece of tenderloin from Rondell.
So, what did you like?
I know we talked about the wontons and inconsistent cuts, whatever, yada yada. I loved the crisp, soft texture inside. The whole plate was well seasoned. Hoisin out of a bottle, hoisin made from scratch. It had flavor, and I like flavor.
You know, it's interesting because I also love the nuance and how really good the flavor of the shrimp farce was inside of those wonton as well. Once you get through all that stuff, it was really, really just perfectly balanced, light, subtle. You could still taste the shrimp and the herbs. Similar nuance on Candace's plate with the red wine, rosemary sauce. When I mixed that sauce, I found a lot of her plate was like, okay, but when I mixed that sauce with all of the things in the bite, I was like, I finally have a really satisfying bite. Yes, could use a little bit more seasoning on all the components, but that to me was like, oh, those flavors come together and work together. So I was really happy about that.
Jurors made a decision which chef should be fired.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Chefs, the dinner party is over. Let me express my sincerest appreciation for your craft, your effort, and the level of creativity that you demonstrated today for this dinner party. I don't want it to be lost just how proud this court is of what you achieved and what you presented today. Unfortunately, as we move closer to the grand prize, you have to pull out the best culinary tricks that you have in the bag. Chef Akeel, your wonton, not wonton, packed the flavors of your Trinidad and Tobago, bringing the heat and the creativity of its presentation wowed my dinner guests. I mean, room for improvement, but the court will consider that when the verdict is given. Chef Candace, your red wine sauce infused with rosemary and the way it worked with your steak that was so tender, a very good recommendation on your part. Plate lacked some flavor, salt, and but the court will consider that when the verdict is being given. Chef Rondell, you continue to demonstrate that you're a master at this. The steak and your plate in general, nice and colorful. Your steak definitely had some spices that maybe you invented them in the kitchen, but you definitely brought the flavor today. That potato mash, or should I say your potato glue, definitely did not quite live up. But the court also will consider that in the verdict. Ladies and gentlemen, one of these chefs have to go home. The chef that will be leaving us is Chef Candace. Unfortunately, I have to let you go and invite you to leave the court. That leaves us with Chef Akeel and Chef Rondell, both from Trinidad and Tobago. The next episode of Maggi Food Court Caribbean will see the battle showdown between Soca and Soca.
Finals. I feel like I worked hard. I did what was needed to be done, and I am here going on to the final. I have no words but joy and thankfulness.
Oh my God, finals. It's time. It's time to make it right. Rondell Thompson, $10,000 US.
You know, renowned. He's good. Rondell is good, undeniably. So even being in the top two with him, it feels as though I am capable, and I've earned it, and I'm there. Going up against him is such an honor to me because I am cooking with the best.
I feel proud. I feel good. I don't feel no way. I'm not sad. I'm not nothing. I mean, the best plate won. I fell down a little lack of salt or whatever they said. But I represented well. I stuck to what I thought would be the right thing to do. I trusted God, and this is probably where I need to be. Who knows? Rondell, I can tell you this. I'm a friend. You better angle that. And you're going to take home the trophy and you're going to redeem yourself. And I'm going to be right there cheering you on and say, yeah, you angle that.
This is just the beginning of Candace car. Look, my tongue up in her right here as well, you know, so girl, you bad. And I know you're proud of yourself and I'm proud of you. Just really wish we could have been two of us standing side by side. But
Jamaica, I love you, and it was a pleasure. I'm out.
Next time on Maggi Food Court Caribbean. In this, the final battle, it's Chef Akeel versus Chef Rondell. They must each prepare their own 5-course meal using the best ingredients Jamaica has to offer.